Hello, I forgot a mug for my coffee. It turns out I cannot drink coffee directly out of a French press. I don't think it would be particularly good. I don't think it would be particularly effective. I don't think it would be particularly fun. What? Scoop, I'm streaming. It says I'm streaming. True. Bridge, you can see me, yes? Alright. I was hearing reports of technical difficulties from Scoop. But I think it was on Scoop's end and not mine. So, hello everyone. Yes, I could drink French press out of a coffee. Wait, shit. Flip that one. I could drink coffee out of a French press if I wasn't a coward, but I am a coward at heart. So, Citizen Sleeper, we've got a ghost in our brain. We also found another digital ghost. We're dealing. What is going on with my ads manager? It is freaking out. Well, we may have to do an earlier ad. No? Okay, there it is. We're good, I guess. Happy Friday, everyone. It is the end of the week. I hope you are all doing well. We are... Yeah, we died once. I don't know if you were there for the job that went absolutely haywire and everyone fucking died. And by everyone, I mean I was the only one who died, and now I kind of have permanent glitch in my brain. We got a ship mind that we sort of transferred over. Turns out Lane is like biologically replacing us, I'm guessing so that he could have his own personal immortal robot body, but we haven't confirmed that yet. We did a salvage op for Junie at an old Solheim facility that was in a hollowed out asteroid that was like a listening post with an AI that had been alone and dying. We talked to some of our friends. Things are kind of stabilizing for the most part, though we're still being hunted by our horrible snake man. And Seraphin's sister is apparently looking for him, though we don't know much about that at all. I think... Let's make it so that the push doesn't cost any stress at all. Now we start saving all of our points to upgrade our skills. Okay. Let's get to it then. Oni-san. Oh, right, we also got Solheim data so that we could open this bay and see what's inside. So let's start with that. See what Solheim goodies we can get. You drown the locking system in data and it gives up and unseals the door. You are in. That's an old fabricator. There's a faded old Neovend printer in the bay. Feeding it data should authorize the component vending process. This colorful machine is corroded and collapsing. It only has a few prints left before it is just a pile of scrap. Well, we don't have enough data to do anything with that right now, so... Okay. What's the play here? What are our jobs? Do we have any jobs right now? Let's go back to the belt. Oop, shoot. Belt. Alright, what's going on in Wellspring? Wellspring's a water extraction facility. We could go to Helion Gate. We don't want to go to dark side right now. That's bad. We could survey an asteroid, but I think we'd have to go back to Far Spindle to do that. So right now, we don't really have any clocks to fill. I don't think we have any engineering jobs. I think I'm just gonna fly us. I guess, should I go check out Wellspring? We don't really have anything pointing us that way, but who knows what could be there? Maybe opportunity. Let's go check it out. Why not? What's the worst that happens? I die again? Seraphin! The shout echoes through the ship, reaching you in the cockpit. You see the angle of Seraphin's head change, but he does not respond otherwise. Hold up for a moment. I need to blow my nose. Okay. Hopefully I'll be a little less nasally. I'm gonna stay out of this. This isn't my business. You stay silent. This doesn't concern you. Seraphin! You recognize the voice now. It's Bliss. Moments later, they come into the cockpit. Is no one listening? They look between the two of you. Guess that means one of you is guilty. Bliss shakes their head. Come on, you need to see this. You follow the irritated Bliss through the ship, down into the cramped storage units tucked between the main ship and the hull. As you enter, you are greeted by total chaos. Amber globs of liquid ration float in the air and cling to the walls, while chunks of dried food spin slowly, breaking into crumbs. Now that I've said that, I absolutely will die again. Yeah, 100%. See? Bliss fumes. Someone opened up one of the supply crates and left it like this. They point to the crate and the storage netting with the lid pushed open. You look at the mess spilling out from the crate. Who could have done this? Inspect the remains. Neutral outcome. You take a moment and pick through the food and find a torn open pouch of liquid rations. You turn it in the light and see a set of evenly spaced gashes at the edge. Looking at the chaos, it's hard to imagine a person doing this, especially one of your crew. Bliss puffs out their cheeks. I need a break from this ship. They look at you. Help me tidy this up. You spend the rest of the journey packing the crate away and disposing of the spoiled supplies. But as you do, you can't help but wonder what actually happened here. When you are finished, you take one last look around the storage bay. As you gaze around at the now cleared space, you have the same feeling of being observed by unseen eyes as you felt in the tunnels of Holmes Rock. I think we have a stowaway cat on board, because I've seen a little cat drifting around in the like key art for it. As you bring the ship into Wellspring's docking ring, you notice a rare tension in Seraphin's piloting. He jerks the stick a little too hard while the docking bridge extends and a proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. You okay there? Just fine, sleeper. He keeps his eyes on the monitors. I'll get Bliss to look at the lateral thrust control. It's a little sticky. That's not what I meant. Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the rig's controls a little tighter. As the ship stops, the docking bridge connected, you lean forward and look out the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. The harsh, gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut, the asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom beyond, along the horizon. You see the terraces. You cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you see the terraces of the pit head, where the current extraction effort must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm gonna head down into the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up on. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me? He nods, grunts, and glides out of the cockpit. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something? Bliss shoots you a look. He seems even more irritable than usual. He's looking for his sister. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Family trouble? That'll explain the irritation levels. I would recommend... They zip up their jacket. We go after him before he pushes past someone that pushes back. Agreed. See you down there. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lotic Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Yeah, Seraphin's hot and cold, very much. Like, we're helping him try and find his sister, but he's real fucky about it.
I'll wait with the ship.
Junie's voice echoes through the thin interior wall of the corridor.
I've got archiving to catch up on.
She pauses.
There's nothing older than 1,000 cycles on that snowball anyway.
You sigh. Without a pilot, it doesn't look like you'll be moving on soon. Time to go see Wellspring. Okay. Oop. Nope. Whoa, this place is big. We got Wellspring Cut, and on the other side, we've got the Wellspring Pithead. If I recall, Seraphin said he was going down to the Cut, so let's go here. The Cut is filled with Lotic workers, which makes for a brash and bold atmosphere. You'll need to be the same if you want to explore. Sure, you could wander, but the Lotic Syndicate runs this place. Surely you know you can learn everything you need to by tuning into their chatter. In the Cut, dirty, wet, and thriving, the Cut is a layered industrial city that is as intimidating as its inhabitants. Let's go take a look at the Pithead, too, just while we're here. Show a Lotic Pass. With a Lotic Pass, like any of the workers or Syndicate members carry, you should be able to get access. I don't have any of that. So let's go deal with some stuff in the Cut. We are not super keyed for this. It seems the Syndicate knows much of what's happening here, but they also have their blind spots. You learn a lot from listening in, but you have to keep moving for fear of being caught. You have a good sense of which passages to wander and which to avoid in the steaming vertical city. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. Bliss looks across the cutwater at the workers in the distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the Syndicate runs it like a corporation. You look at those gathered in the low-ceilinged bar, gathered around cushioned couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metal walls. All of them wear Lotic clothing, a mark of their status as contractors for the Belt's most powerful syndicate. You look back to Bliss, who is watching another group, quietly discussing something serious in the opposite corner. Lotic gets the job done. Bliss turns back to the bar and sips their drink through its metal straw. Oh, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row, searching out components in the markets. Down there, people don't seem so happy. Bliss meets your eye. There's a lot of talk of contracts. It seems Lotic's been locking down its workers, giving the war in the inner system as an excuse. They play with their metal straw, swirling the orbs of liquid in their sealed glass. The pressure is building, Sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer. They sigh. We need to give Seraphin time. Well, Bliss raises an eyebrow. It sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in Chasm Row. I heard someone complaining about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiles. Who else could that be? They laugh. That's the place to start if you want to find our boy. They said he was asking about the rhyme market, but I have no idea what that is. Bliss looks out across the bar. Definitely a touchy subject for the locals, though. I'll head there now. Bliss nods. I'll finish my drink. They smile. Let me know how it goes. You leave the cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There is a conspiratorial mood to the conversations now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all the talk is about. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steaming bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid itself. All this water in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, the belt will die of thirst long before the war reaches it. You turn up your collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. Okay, we've got the Cutwater, that's the bar. We could work a shift at that or buy a meal. Not great. The Lotic Depot. We could work a shift or buy fuel. Oh, fuel is dirt cheap here. The Lotic Syndicate manufactures its own fuel from Wellspring's Rotter, so it's a little cheaper than everywhere else. Alright, Chasm Row. You can find all kinds of produce in Chasm Row, so with a bit of work and bartering, you can assemble your own packed supplies. Blisson said Seraphin was hunting for the Rhyme Market. Whatever it is, you'll need to get to know the area and its hidden ways to find it. A hidden rhyme. Seraphin was apparently asking about the Rhyme Market, whatever that is. Find it, and you'll find your pilot. Well... Ugh. I don't have any money. What happens if I lose and I don't have any money? You notice graphic markings on some of the shop's fronts and heaters. Perhaps they lead somewhere. Ugh, all of our bones are falling apart. I don't think I can fix them until they actually break, though, if I remember right. Can we have good dice today? No, not really. Agonizingly mid dice, I suppose. Alright. Something about the flow of people and goods is wrong here. More people enter than leave. Boxes disappear down alleys. You're close. There we go. A dark, corroded door lies in front of you. The markings on it are right. This is the place. The markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming orange-lit depths. Mid dice are better than bad dice. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll take mid dice rather than a suite of ones. Their steaming orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation on each unit's windows, the gleam of amber workers' suits, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But among this, you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, the light flickering up through floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms. And, as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door bursts open in front of you. A large dark bundle glides out of the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang. But your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. "Stay out of the Rhyme Market, rat!" The man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognize Seraphin, winded but straightening up to go back for more. We're not an engager. Oh, what do we do here? Do we try to stop yeah, let's try. Yeah. You hesitate, seeing the hard anger brewing in Seraphin's eyes, and you reach him a moment too late. He catches you as he kicks off from the wall with a swinging fist, sending you reeling back while he smashes into the man. The two tumble in a flurry of blows, slamming into the doorframe until the man gets his legs between him and Seraphin and kicks him into the wall. Seraphin hits hard and floats away, a few crimson bubbles of blood drifting from his bust lip. Go to Seraphin. You glide over to Seraphin as he shakes himself awake. You put yourself between him and the figure. "Know when you're beaten, rat," the man calls out. "It's time to go home and lick your wounds." Seraphin exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood form at the bottom of his nose.
Want to explain what's happening?
For the record, the man folds his arms. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival.
I wasn't snooping. I'm looking for someone.
Seraphin glares.
If you'd taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have gotten that.
The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphin. Say I believe you. What were you doing at the meeting then? Missing persons ain't our business.
All I heard is this is where Lodic contractors meet.
Seraphin sighs. I don't like you hearing that, not at all, and I'm gonna need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where contractors meet, as if that's anything to you.
The person I'm looking for is a contractor.
Seraphin's frustration rises again.
She uses the cover name Luz.
He pauses, a desperation entering his voice.
Please. I think she might be my sister.
Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphin and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here. He retreats through the door. Get in. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk. He grunts, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern. But if Lodic catch us discussing contracts out there... He shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door and you glance inside to see a group gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They are speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not interrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Seraphin, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly, you come out through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you can see, crooked stalls and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to the Rhyme Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lotic don't know about this place. He smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs onto one and you and Seraphin follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphin looks skeptically at the drink.
We friends now or something?
Look. Kirk takes a sip. I'm not gonna apologize for putting you on your arse. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors. And if someone is part of a family, well... He shrugs his massive shoulders. Then they deserve to be heard out at the least. Space Capri Suns! I'm gonna see if I can adjust my positioning so that I'm leaning less. That's probably best. Honestly, it would be best to put this on my other monitor. Whatever. Actually, I'm gonna try that real quick. Sorry. Hold, please. I'm trying a new layout, briefly, for myself. Put chat over here. That over there, put that over there. Extend this. I should have waited till the ad break to do this, honestly, but whatever. My favorite are when they're like in orbs. Like, I love the orb of drink in things. Let Seraphin speak.
Enough. You know a lose. I saw it in your eyes.
Seraphin glares at him.
Where is she?
Describe her. Kirk leans back on his stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Seraphin closes his eyes.
Dark hair. Used to wear it long and messy. Bright eyes, broad shoulders.
You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls.
Tough but kind. Tattoos, nervous laugh.
He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk.
That enough?
Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. You feel something jump in Seraphin, an almost imperceptible tension rising.
It's her. His sister.
Lose. Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between. Or whatever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contracts Lotic registered. That means...
Just tell me where she is,
Seraphin demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Seraphin a pointed look. Those new contractors are restricted to the pithead. In fact, that is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphin looks away in frustration but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lotic Syndicate has been trying to lock down Wellspring. They went to form a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy, and started enforcing contracts with some seriously overreaching terms. Your sister? She's on one of those contracts. Lotic are acting like they own her and the others because according to their contracts, they do. Which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle, he forcefully taps the bar with a finger. We are voting on strike action and a full blockade of Flotsam. We will bring the Syndicate to the table to... Seraphin knocks his drink away and kicks off from the table, disappearing into the market. I'm gonna stay with Kirk. Seraphin's fucking losing it. Seraphin, get your shit together, man. Union time! Union time! Kirk watches Seraphin go with a disappointed look in his eyes. Your friend will go to the Lotic Syndicate. I know it. He sips from his drink. They won't help him there. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or for you. Trust me. I want to help you, Sleeper. I want to help your friend. But I need your help in return.
I want to help.
Good. Kirk nods. I knew you would. Kirk places a plastic pass card into your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lotic Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into its transparent interior. This will get you into the pithead. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Don't follow your friend to Lotic. Go to the pithead, find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lotic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You catch up with Seraphin in the bustle of the Rhyme Market among the steam and crowds.
I can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming from a mile off.
Seraphin is bristling with anger.
What kind of idiots does he think we are? Is that what this is about? This is about getting my sister out of whatever mess she's gotten into.
Seraphin starts to push through the crowd towards the exit tunnel.
We need to speak to Lotic. Forget these clowns.
He shoves his way forward.
We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out.
Seraphin forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, you curse his impatience. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people clutching onto the Lotic Pass, trying to decide what to do next. Opinion from people who are watching, by the way, is this a better angle for me? I feel like I dip out of the frame more often, but it's a little bit more awkward to be on this side for me. let me know what you think in chat if you have an opportunity. I can buy some scrap components or some rare components. That's low-tech. I'd negotiate a meeting. Seraphin wants to meet with the Syndicate bosses to negotiate his sister's release. He needs your help. No, it's less comfortable, is what I'm saying. To be clear. I could get used to it. It's just a matter of... I think what I need to do is I need to reorient my webcam. I actually might play with that during the commercial break. That might be a better solution than switching the monitor that I'm looking at. Because if I'm looking over here, my head's in profile, and I feel like I dip out a little bit if I have to look over certain things. Sorry, I'm troubleshooting in the middle of fucking streaming. This is stupid. Let's go to the pit head. There is a hawk outside your window, hell yeah! Is it just like chillin'? The supervisor waves you through, barely looking at the pass. You are in. Using your pass, you can sneak into the canteen and get some free food, but you would better be careful. Your low-tech pass isn't actually yours, and if they find that out, you won't be able to eat here anymore. Sounds like it was failing to get some small critter. Well, good for the small critter, I suppose. The shaft is a constant flow of contractors, but you are determined to find Luz among all these faces. The best way to find Luz will be to infiltrate the work crews and gain access to the deep parts of the mine. The mine is a vast space filled with workers, but with patience and care, you can find Seraphin's sister and you know it. Alright, let's throw a 5 down on this work crew. You end up on a crew with a locked-in contractor. They tell you that their colleagues are deeper in the mine. But I think we throw our 3s over here to intuit. I don't want to risk the danger check. You overhear talk of the contractors locked into their contracts, but you miss half of the conversation. Alright, back to that, and cycle. Okay, that's terrible. Oh no, I gotta... The security guard calls you over and kick you out when they see your ragged pass. One more time. Alright. Let's finish what we fucking came here for. You are headed down to the deepest part of the shaft, with a tip-off that loses there. The shaft descends towards a sump in the depths of the pit. Here, the air is freezing cold to prevent the ice from melting into globules of floating water. If your breath carried water, you would be able to see it in the air. But the absence of steam in each exhalation only serves to remind you of your own strangeness. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixed on their work, shuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see bright sparks of ice cutting in progress. Slabs hanging in the air that strange way they do in Zero-G. Some loose memories of the time before Darkseid, before Lane, before freedom come into your mind. The familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil. It chills you more than the packed ice on either side of you ever could. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grill marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the barred door set into it, and safety lights flicker on, lighting up glittering ice particles all around in their hard beams. It is as if all the stars are held there, in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus.
It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts and terraced pits cut into its side, all around silhouetted by their work lights contractors cut and haul and gather. Whatever the hawk was after sounds like it's skittering in your downspout. Oh no. This is where those locked-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift. The atmosphere is grim. At the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded-together habitation units. A heavy twist of cables stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft behind, tethering it to a central power source. On each of the 6 sides of this strange apartment block, a set of struts project outward, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapped in insulation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it is obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside, and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its ragged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath its hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you were told you will find Luce, or whatever her real name is. You come out into a communal mess, counters and food preparation units fitted into the wall, cushioned stools and couches scattered around. A couple of contractors are stretched out in the space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Suddenly, a door on the far side opens out into the cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figure as they glide into the warm light of the interior, their dark hair and bright eyes. You know this is who you're looking for. You meet eyes with hers, and something sparks in that dull and cloying room. It's as if she recognizes you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair still stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes adjusting to the interior. Luce? She nods slowly. You see her scan you, ticking in your clothes, the way you hold yourself, your face. For a moment, you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial markings, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it, a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing she is mistaken. Give me a sec, all right? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. She pulls back her hood. Haven't seen you down here before. They just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet, slotting it into a warmer. She thumbs it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long while. She doesn't take her eyes off the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with the job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs a little to herself. I'm with your brother. My brother? She pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. I think you have me confused with someone else. You're not listening. She turns to face you and you see a wet shine to her eyes. What are you going on about? You realize what you need to tell her. Seraphin is on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphin? She takes a ragged breath, then steadies herself. Here? Not here, at the cut. She nods, and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you with mine. She comes closer. I'm Tala. She smiles a warm smile. Now where is my idiot brother?
Tala! She's back!
I thought that was her. I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry. This is not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you. Yeah, she was the bartender from the first game who made the mushroom moonshine. No, that was definitely her. Tala seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you and the door at its end. I sure hope you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us getting I sure hope you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us locked-in contractors getting out. She moves towards the corridor. There's security in the shaft, and then again at the pit head. You must have passed through the checkpoint at the entrance, too. I doubt we can bypass all of those. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you, and shepherds you towards the corridor. You could run a distraction, maybe? Or is Sarah on that already? You are slightly taken aback by her sudden change. We don't actually... A blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module, loud enough to wake the sleeping contractor with a start. You and Tala exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you. Tala rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with you following close behind. The ice scatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos. You see dark-suited low-tech security wrestling with contractors lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. The equipment is blaring out a voice, Kirk's voice, echoing across the cavern. A look of panic crosses Tala's face. A general strike is now in effect. All contractors should down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We have blockaded all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of the Syndicate's leadership and for new Workers' Council to be installed in its place. This cycle, we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There is a screech of noise, and the message begins repeating. You watch as the security are pushed back towards the grill, outnumbered by the gathering workers. Tala looks to you for guidance. Now's our chance. Tala looks around the cavern in the red lights, reflecting on her wide eyes. She sighs. I need to stay. I won't abandon the others. What about Seraphin? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tala backs away, glancing over her shoulders at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper. And you need to go. Find Seraphin. Do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and glides off towards the others. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can, the way now cleared by the contractors, the handful of low-tech security pushed back up to somewhere near the pit head. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks as you go, you realize you have to speak with Kirk. You find Kirk at the pit head, directing contractors to barricade the entry points to the mine. So, you took my advice. Good. Kirk smiles. We are glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. What happens now? The Syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures towards the contractors welding plates across the checkpoints, but we far outnumber them. Their monopoly ends here. How can I help? Kirk leads you a little way away from the contractors. If you want to free those like Seraphin's sister, I will need your help. We have ships, but not many, and the Syndicate still has tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the Syndicate from trying to pass. All of our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew could help us take a tanker and secure a blockade. You want me to storm a tanker? This will not be an assault. Kirk puts a hand on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll just give them a nudge. Your ship will pose as an in-distress trader trapped inside the debris field. When the headstream is obliged to rescue, we will board and encourage the crew to take control.
You want to incite a mutiny?
Trust me when I say that their captain does not deserve to be in charge. This is a liberation.
Kirk folds his arms across his chests. Chests? Chest. Singular.
Will you do it?
I will.
I knew you would. I'm glad to have you in our cause, Sleeper.
Suddenly, Kirk puts 2 fingers in his mouth and blasts out a shrill whistle. A contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials, and the back by loose cables.
You will need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field.
He nods at the contractor.
Jens here will install it into your ship. Consider it a gift, from our cause to yours.
Can someone kill that? Can't do it from my I'll just bring it to Twitch. Got it. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. Arcos to yours. He nods once more and Jens passes by you, heading for the lift to the docking ring with your new module.
I will provide the headstream's coordinates.
He moves away towards the contractors, still working on the checkpoints.
And I will wait for your word.
You leave the pithead behind, your mind racing. You do not know how you would have ended up in the middle of all of this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Sleeper! Seraphin comes up the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pithead is being taken over by Kirk's guys? This, you realize, will take a lot of explaining. Okay. Alright, so we have a new job on the map. We don't have enough supplies. Payment dollar released. Payment. This woman. Let's do some depot shifts. We need money. That's not great. Can I get a free meal still? No. Damn. Well, I'll burn one of our supplies. We'll eat. Okay. Okay. Let's fill the fuel. Great. Got mod via my phone in case I need that. Thank you, Scoop. Appreciate it. I don't know why I couldn't do it in the weird, like, widget that I have on OBS. This thing seems very limited. which is fine, but, you know. There we go. That back over there. Okay. The run market's where we buy components. That's not what we need right now. Are we still ticking down? Oh no, Lane's just straight up not willing. Oh right, because it's blockaded. Lane is not coming out here to fuck us over. Hell yeah. You love to see it. We can chill on this asteroid for a little while. Unlucky. Okay. If I get a free supplies from this today, okay, yeah, I'll go with 4. Well, no, wait, I want to spend the dice before I go. Because otherwise they're not used for anything, and I can make some money this way. I don't remember if I have to manage my energy during a job. I don't think so. So I'm going to go on the job and hope that I don't regret this. Or I'll just buy a meal and eat it, actually. That'll be easier. Am I allowed to repair myself? No, I'm not until I'm actually fully broken, which is really irritating because I don't believe I can do that on a job. Well, that's okay. Oh, I'm curious, can I leave the belt? Am I allowed to? No, I'm not. Hell yeah. We're stuck here. Until we do this job. Oh, we have to take Kirk. Junior Bliss, Junior Bliss, Junior Bliss. I'm gonna take Junie. I can't do preventative medicine, apparently, yeah. Kirk has hella stress bar. Man is put together. The headstream looms large in the cockpit windows as it comes to a stop. Can't believe you talked me into this. Seraphin sighs. This is not a good plan. Convincing Seraphin to take Kirk out to this Lotic freighter wasn't exactly easy, but with the pithead on lockdown, there wasn't really any other option. A voice crackles over Seraphin's terminal, loud enough to hear, but quiet enough that you can't pick out what's being said. Stay silent. You risk the urge to ask. The tension in the cockpit is palpable, all of you aware that this ruse could fall apart at any moment. Seraphin. You look behind you to see Kirk floating by the doorway. You keep them talking, all right? Seraphin flicks the comm switch and begins speaking to the Lotic ship, thanking them for responding to the distress signal, trying his best to play the part of the nervous trader suffering an engine failure in the debris field. Kirk jerks his head for you to follow him into the corridor, and you unclip from your seat and float out behind him. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna play the captain on this one. His flat stare suggests he isn't asking for permission. Fine by me.
Kirk nods.
I appreciate it. Let me tell you how this is going to go.
He starts moving down towards the airlock, and you follow as he talks.
The headstream has been holding here cycle after cycle while Wellspring tried to quash our little rebellion.
He smiles at the idea.
Now the blockade is in effect. Well, they'll know they have to hold out for longer. Still, while the messages from Lotic operations get less and less frequent.
He stops by the lockers, swapping his Lotic uniform for an old flight jacket.
This is a ship full of tired, unhappy, underpaid, and underfed workers.
You both arrive at the airlock.
We just have to nudge their anger in the right direction.
There is a hiss as the airlock cycles. Lotic are coming aboard. Kirk catches your eye and gives you a wink. The airlock doors scissors open, revealing a drained-looking Lotic captain flanked by security officers. Lambert, captain of the Headstream. He presents himself immediately, but with little enthusiasm. We have been in communication with your pilot and are docking as requested to provide support. He looks between you and Kirk, his eyes lingering on you a little too long, no doubt taking in the strange vinyl skin, dark glowing eyes, and doll-like face of your new frame. He directs his attention to Kirk. How fares your crew? New guys. Yeah, Myth, new guys. We're staging a union strike. Yeah, this man looks like he has not slept in a long time.
Thank you, Captain.
You notice the immediate change in Kirk, his deflated posture and softer speech.
We're surviving as best we can, but now that you've come to our rescue...
He sighs and holds out an eager hand to Lambert.
We are very grateful indeed.
Lambert limply shakes Kirk's hand. Not to worry, the Lotic Syndicate takes its stewardship of Wellspring and the surrounding environs seriously. It is our duty to offer aid to traders and travelers alike. I am afraid we don't have much to offer by way of supplies. Our stores have been depleted by our long posting here, but your crew is free to enter our ship and make use of its facilities while you make our repairs. Kirk continues playing the submissive captain, nodding enthusiastically and uttering a stream of thank yous. You feel like he's pushing it a little, though Lambert only seems to be paying the minimum of attention to him. Suddenly, he turns a sharp eye to you. Your pilot didn't mention you had a sleeper aboard. Stay silent. Kirk responds quickly.
Apologies. They're such a good worker, and quiet too. We sometimes forget they're even here. Perhaps if your ship is in need of maintenance, you can borrow them for a few cycles.
Lambert eyes you more brazenly now, taking Kirk's lead as permission to indulge his curiosity. Yes. His eyes trace a tear in the thick skin on your forearm. Perhaps it could be of use to us. Kirk smiles.
I will send them to speak with your crew. I'm sure they can direct the sleeper to appropriate tasks.
Oh, they'd love that. Lambert jokes. They're a work-shy bunch, this lot. I'm sure they'd be eager for slave. The word sets you on edge. Stay silent.
We are happy to serve. Kirk bows. After all, we owe you our safety.
Very good. Lambert seems suddenly bored, or tired, perhaps both. Tell your crew they are free to cross the docking tunnel then. He pauses. But remind them no funny business will be tolerated. He smiles a sharp smile. I have matters to attend to. Lambert turns. See you later, Captain. And with that, Lambert heads back down the tunnel, still flanked by his two silent security officers. Kirk waits until he is out of sight to turn to you.
Good.
He lets out a breath.
Well held, sleeper. I thought from the look in your eyes you were gonna knock him out.
He chuckles.
I know the job. Glad to hear it.
Kirk stares down the corridor.
Because this dickhead wouldn't hesitate to cut us loose in the debris field if we push him. Trust me.
Kirk squeezes your shoulder.
Shall we go meet his crew? See what their opinions are on Lotic's administration?
He smiles broadly.
With a captain like that, I doubt they'll be very positive.
Okay. With that, as usual, we have to run a mid-roll ad. So please bear with me in order to stop the pre-rolls when we start. I will be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to briefly be, for those of you who are subscribing and can see through the ads, fucking around with my webcam during the break. So, It may be a different perspective when you get back. Hopefully one that has me less at a weird angle. So, see y'all in a few. Kirk, you rolled like dog shit. Okay. So, if we set it here. And move OBS back to the other monitor. And move that here. So now I'll be reading looking like this. Yeah, I think it's allergies or something. I don't know. I'm just feeling a little stuffed up today. But it's like really dry. I don't know. Yeah, it could be allergies. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it either way. I feel fine for the most part. A little tired maybe, but that could be any number of things. The joys of advertisements. Very excited to have a full security lockdown because I fuck up on these dice. This is a lot of nothing. Okay, yeah, I don't manage energy while I am on jobs. Perfect. Alright, looks like the ads are done. Welcome back. We have a slightly different angle now. And I'm reading dead ahead, and yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I got that email too, Scoop. Saying like, hey, we're still gonna give you fucking vaccines. So. Alright, what do we got here? Engine room. Sabotage engines. Nothing spreads discontent more than malfunctioning engines, but you'll have to be subtle in your sabotage. Headstream mutiny. Turning each section of the crew against their captain is the job, and this isn't going to be an easy one. The engineering staff of the Headstream are already in doubt about their captain. Criticized contracts. Engine room crews are always the worst paid. A little bit of contract discussion should spread discontent. Debate Wellspring. The situation on Wellspring is untenable. You just need to get the nav techs to realize that on their own. False data in the system will lead to frustration and mistakes in the bridge tech if you can plant it without being seen. So all of these seem like they are positive clocks. Discuss the war. Low-tech are trying to profit from the war and monopoly on water. The cargo crews just need to see some encouragement to see it. A leaking payload means the cargo crew will be on edge all cycle. Just don't get caught messing with the tanks. Okay. let's start with navigation. Let's burn Junie's good dice on this. The techs have to reboot the navigation system, but the errors that they are seeing are suspicious. Oh, so headstream mutiny is when I fill all of these clocks. I see. Okay. Glitches in the navigation system mean extra work for the techs. They grumble as they fix the system. Alright, I'll throw my 100 there, too. Oh, I should have thrown it on the danger... Whatever. The techs discuss what they might do to change things with the Syndicate. The seeds are planted. Okay. Kirk, you are useless here. Comms array. The Headstream crew has started sending updates to the growing tensions of Wellspring. This is trouble. Cutting the comms is a drastic move, but if they get word of mutiny out to Wellspring, you are in trouble. I'll start throwing some of my 4s at this one. Okay, there's a crisis active. That's the comms thing. The cargo crew is split between those who support Lodic and those who don't. Your opinion isn't wanted. I don't think I risk this glitch dice on any of those. We have a lot of clocks to fill. Oh, I could have pushed. I forget about the push. Oh, it wouldn't have worked on the glitch, but... Great. The comms go dead. You hope you won't need them later. Holy shit, Kirk, you fucking suck, dude. You have rolled 3 2s and a 1. Nice. Don't love that. Okay. Push this. Let's get the navigators on board. Boom. The tension in the headstream has risen beyond the point of no return. 1 down. Engineers are my people. Come on, man. Leaky feed lines means lots of repairs, but the crew are suspicious. Kirk, I don't think I'm using your shit-ass dice, dude. I don't want to start another security lockdown. Speaking of shit-ass dice... Kirk is trying his best. It's not very good, but it's his best. Oh, Kirk, you are a God, Junie rolled so good, and yet she's bad at all of these. Fuck me. Okay. New crisis active. I hope I can spend Junie's points on it. Thank God. Yeah, he got A4 this time. The beacon signal is dying with each attack on its systems. If I throw a 5, it becomes a coin flip as to whether or not I shut this down immediately. I think I need new crisis active. Being in the US in 2020. Yeah. One time. Don't fuck me one time. Come on. You fucked me. God damn it. Okay, the ship is silenced. The distress beacon shuts off. Now the ship really is isolated. All right, Kirk. Get to it. Holy shit, Kirk, you're awful. You're gonna blow this whole thing. How I'm supposed to fill all of these clocks when they don't give me dice that work? I'm losing my fucking mind. Okay, Junie, you're worthless right now. I'm, however, incredible. So I'm gonna get the engineers on our side right now. Okay. The engineering staff of the Headstream are already in doubt about their captain. The tension in the Headstream has risen beyond the point of no return. All right, one more. Kirk? 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 You suck, dude. Yep. You fucked it completely. Kirk. That's so infuriating. Holy shit. I am... Kirk rushes into the bay you are crossing.
It's all kicking off, Sleeper.
A growing fear in his eyes.
Lambert's lost control.
He guides you through the Headstream, a ship you have become surprisingly familiar with over the past few cycles. Perhaps it is the influence of getting to know the crew and their complaints about the Lambert and the Syndicate, but its twisting corridors, thick pipes, and cold metal have been taken on an oppressive feel, cycle by cycle, hour by hour. Now, as the shouts of conflict echo down the corridor ahead, where a room glows with the warm light of the galley, you feel that oppressive pall tightening its grip. It's too early, you know it is. The sickening feeling growing inside you tells you that you haven't got enough support to pull this off. I got 2 out of 3 of them! Fuck you! Back away! Lambert's shout echoes like a shot as you enter the crowded galley. A gang of crew members, maybe a third of the total number, is loudly arguing with a smaller group clumped around Lambert. You have allowed yourself to be swayed by those eager to use you for their own ends. Lambert is shouting across the galley. I am sorry to have to do this to my own crew, but there must be consequences. You see him glance over his shoulder, tracing his view. You see security officers tensely gathering in the back of the room. You look at Kirk, his panicked expression something you aren't used to seeing, tells you he notices them too. Unbelievable. Then, with a nod from Lambert, security moves into the crowd. You launch yourself into the crowd as it pushes forward, the crew resisting Lambert's surge like a wave, their arms up to protect their heads from the security officers' batons. You find yourself at the front, suddenly blows raining down. You do your best to shield yourself from them as you lash out in response, tumbling as you do. You see some of the crew fall back under the heavy strikes, and you begin to doubt how long this diminishing resistance will hold. Suddenly, you hear a panicked squawk above the rumble of shouts. You regain your sense of direction as you see Kirk grappling with Lambert. "Get the hell off me!" Lambert screams. The spindly captain is no match for Kirk, who wraps his thick forearms around Lambert's neck and chest, squeezing tight. Security officers begin to strike at Kirk, and you see him flinch as they do, but hold his grip strong. He's seeing their moment. The crew wrestle the security officers off Kirk as Lambert's feet kick futilely in the air, his fingers scratching at Kirk's arm around his neck, his eyes rolling back. Help the crew. You scramble forward and join the crew, pushing back the security and anyone else resisting them. The tide shifts, the security falling back or floating, injured, pushed against the far wall of the room. Small orbs of blood float across the space like a constellation of violence, gently spattering the pale galley walls. Sensing the shift, Kirk releases Lambert, who spins lazily through the air, a trail of spittle leaking from the corner of his mouth. You see his chest rising and falling very slowly. He is alive. From this moment on, the conflict fades. Lambert and the injured are taken to the medical bay under the escort of the resisting crew, now armed with batons. Some of the security see the futility of resisting and agree to join the mutiny. Those who stubbornly remain are taken to the brig. You join the others in cleaning up the galley, the room itself evidence of the brutal takeover this became. People bled and cried out in this room, and you can't help but feel that some of their pain is on you. Bullshit. None of their pain is on me. This was a bullshit trial you set me on. Getting that many successes without any mediocre effects, this game is so badly balanced if you want to succeed. At some point you have to stop, a hazy feeling coming over your body. You reach up and touch your head, and feel a rent in your thick vinyl skull. When you touch something metal and cold beneath, you withdraw your fingers.
Settle yourself here, sleeper.
Kirk, bruised and tired, gestures to one of the galley flight couches.
Please.
You have no energy to resist, even if you wanted to. As you settle on the couch and slip your feet into the straps, Kirk inspects your head.
This wasn't how it was supposed to go.
You feel him applying some kind of adhesive patch to your wound.
But I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that it was Lotic that caused this. That pushed us to the edge and required this of us.
Kirk's fingers smooth down the edge of the patch.
The blood will always be on their hands.
The repair finished, you turn to face Kirk. Stay silent. Kirk sighs.
I will not be judged.
Kirk pushes away from the couch, rising up.
Spare your thoughts for the crew.
He glances around the room, now almost empty.
It is their struggle that lies ahead, handling the ship and the role it must have in the blockade. They will need to calm this violence alone, and retaliation will come.
He sighs a heavy sigh.
I hope they will be ready when it does. We, however, need to return to Wellspring.
Kirk takes a deep breath and lets it out slow.
The struggle goes on.
He pushes off from the couch and leaves the room. You take a moment before you follow, taking one last look at the galley. A few crimson stains still dot its walls. You hope this was worth it. The full failure bars here, like these job stress things, are really badly balanced in my opinion. They are way too sensitive and way too short for the amount that it needs you to succeed. Also, I don't think I fully understand the glitch thing, because I thought I was supposed to have a 1 in 6 chance of getting a glitch, and it's literally every time. I have never not had a glitch since that happened. So I guess it must be just guaranteed if you have one. The cut thrums with tension. The steaming city and its brash inhabitants have quietened. Not to silence, but to a low rumble of conversation. The blockade is holding, the syndicate is waning, and everywhere there are plans to be made. You and Seraphin float idly in Chasm Row, many stories deep in this wound in Wellspring's side, waiting on Kirk, not far from the first place you met him. A meeting Seraphin still has lingering bruises from. Kirk is inside somewhere, and like every other Lotic contractor, he is making plans. Even before you arrived back into Wellspring, he had hijacked the rig's transmitter to speak with his fellow conspirators, and made arrangements for his arrival. Watching Kirk's plot unfold made you realize that despite your involvement, in the end you are just a subsidiary part of this struggle, chaotic outside actor with effect, but no real influence. Now, waiting for Kirk's return, you feel a little solace in that. You aren't ready to be dragged into another struggle, not yet. You still have your freedom to win, and looking at Seraphin next to you, you know that he does too.
All right, we're on.
Kirk comes out of a passage nearby, nodding to the two of you to follow. He leads you both into the Rime Market passageways, this time not to the steaming market hall that lies beyond the deepest streets, but to a cramped room walled with pipes and rusted panels.
Wait here.
He nods to you both before pushing off and gliding back out of the room. Kirk's briskness is something that has slowly gathered since you left the headstream, eroding your relationship to the point of non-existence. It is not something that surprises you. You know that every time he looks at you, he sees the violence of that final cycle on headstream, the orbs of blood, Lambert's unconscious form. You know that because every time you look at him, you see the same. Seraphin settles again. You shoot him a look, but his focus is elsewhere, his eyes glazed over. You fold your arms and wait. Sarah? Tala enters so quietly in that dim room that you barely notice her. She shoots you a look and smile as she enters. Thank you, she mouths silently and then turns her attention to her brother. Tala. Seraphin says her name like a sigh, like an exhale. He is shaking his head, his eyes already shining with uncontrollable emotion. She rushes across the room, flying into Seraphin at speed. They embrace softly, spinning in the dust and dark, their fingers dug into each other's backs. They separate, a couple of pristine spheres of briny tears spinning away through the air as they do. You're safe. Seraphin nods, taking a breath. I'm safe. She smiles reassuringly, settling him, and in this settling, the gesture of care, you see a whole network of signs and secrets. Tala is the calm to Seraphin's storm, the big sister who eases his heart. She looks him up and down. You are so big, Sarah. She laughs at her own statement. You've grown up. She tries to make it sound approving rather than patronizing. You're just the same, sister. Seraphin shakes his head, calling me big but making me feel small. The moment the statement leaves his lips, you feel a chill in your room, and you aren't sure if he meant it. Tala flinches, a little hurt, but not wanting to show it. I came to find you. Tala tries again. I needed to find you. Seraphin looks torn, and you see in him something you have come to recognize. The slow and careful raising of his defenses. Why now? He looks away. It's been a long time, Tala. Mom and Dad finally decide they want me to come home. A ripple of emotion runs through Tala, one she can't hide. Sarah, after you left, they're gone. She sighs. I thought you would have. She struggles to find the words. It's been a long time. It has. Seraphin sets his face into a stern look of control, but you know he is raging inside, and in this moment you feel closer to him than you have felt in a while. Tala folds her arms, trying to regain a little control of the exchange. It's good to see you, Sarah. So good. You know it is coming, and you see Seraphin brace for it too. But I can't leave with you. She looks pained. This isn't easy for her either. Seraphin can only nod, a dulling acceptance washing over him. I wanted to find you, and I have. And I can see you are strong and, well, and at it, she shoots you a glance. You have your life here. But the people here, the other contractors, they were the ones who found me, who have kept me going since I ended up here, desperate and alone. She smiles warmly. It's not that I owe them. It's that they are my family too. She gently places a hand on his shoulder. I know you understand this. She smiles at you. We all find our families out here. Seraphin smiles a rare smile, his eyes wet. We do, sister. He embraces her again. They separate, and Tala turns her attention to you. I know you will take care of my brother, Sleeper. She smiles. I saw it in your eyes when you came to the pit head. She approaches you and puts a hand on your shoulder. I can see you are building something of value on that ship of yours. I hope so. She nods and takes her hand away. She folds her arms again, her sense of control returning. There is a wisdom and experience to Tala that brings a certain calm to you, and you feel that now. Will you two be staying here for a while, or? Tala looks between you and Seraphin. Seraphin cuts in before you can answer. Not long. He smiles. We have our own freedom to find. Tala nods.
Just be aware that you're free to pass the blockade, but after that,
She sighs.
Wellspring is going to be locked down for a little while. At least until Kirk can establish his council. Next time you come,
She smiles proudly.
this will be a very different place.
Hearing Tala say this, you suddenly see the authority in her, and realize that one of those council seats may well have her name on it. You look between the two of them and realize that they have years to catch up on, and they'd probably rather do that without you watching. You nod to them and slip out of the room, a lilting conversation starting up the moment you leave. As you follow the twisting corridors back up to the chasm row, you smile to yourself at the thought of Tala and Seraphin, reunited at last. You hope this whole adventure will make Seraphin a little less moody, even though you know deep down it'll probably make him worse. Later in the cycle, Seraphin quietly comes back to the rig. He immediately settles himself into the cockpit and starts running diagnostics on the engines. He looks up as you enter and shoots you a smile. Good to see you up here, Sleeper. I'm getting ready to head out. How are you doing? I'm good, Sleeper. Really good. He flicks a sequence of switches. Sleeper. Seraphin turns to face you. Thank you. He smiles. I appreciate you bringing us all the way out here. I won't forget it. I'm glad. He smiles. Gotta say, it was nice to see you getting to meet Tala after all this time. She's found a place here, and I'm really happy for her. He looks away, out of the cockpit windows at Wellspring. She always was the responsible one, and I was always the one running away. I guess some things never change. Seraphin quietly watches the diagnostics complete, a subtle smile on his lips. One thing is for sure. We've been here too long. Seraphin meets your eyes, and we've been seen by too many people. Wellspring may be far out of Utsubo territory, but I'm sure Lane will find a way to reach his nasty claws out here given enough time. Let's not give him the chance. Hey guys? Bliss's voice echoes up the passage into the cockpit. They lean in the door, looking between the two of you. 2 contractors just dumped a load of fuel outside our ship. Said it was a gift. You and Seraphin look at each other. Gotta be Kirk. Seraphin gets up. It's either a thank you or his way of telling us to get going. Seraphin kicks off and glides out of the cockpit. Hey, so... Bliss smiles. Well, you two have been busy. So have I. Been looking at the rig's drive, and I reckon it's due an upgrade. We need some engine components. Quite a few. So keep an eye out. Shipyards tend to be a good place to look. Thanks, Bliss. Bliss winks. Anytime. They sigh. Better go help Seraphin with that fuel. As Bliss leaves the cockpit, you find yourself lost in thought, considering your next steps, while the icy expanse of Wellspring glitters below. You are free to leave Wellspring. You now have a HasNav unit installed and can freely travel the debris fields on the belt map. Cool. Oh no, kerninged. To increase the ship's range, the engine will need an overhaul to squeeze more power out of the turbines. That means new components. Which I can't get here. Shipyards. We need food. Oh my. We also need money. Couldn't they have given us supplies instead of food? Come on. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Fuck. It wasn't fine. Can I leave? Fuck. Take 8 to get back to Flotsam, take 9 to get back to the far spindle. Helium Gate would be 11, Holmes Rock would be 6. We don't have any reason to go up. I think let's go back to the far spindle. That's gonna be our best bet. The rig glides safely through a debris cloud, the cockpit empty apart from you and Seraphin. So, Sleeper, I've been thinking. Seraphin gives you a sly look over his shoulders. I've been thinking. I'm sick of running. Me too. I mean, even if we want to keep going the way we have been, we've run out of belt. Beyond Wellspring, it's mostly rocks and emaciated scavengers and, well, I'm a city boy at heart. But not only that, Seraphin meets your eye. We've been building something here, Sleeper. The crew, the ship. He smiles. Hell, we just got this HasNav suite for free. He thumps the new unit on top of his flight console. What I'm asking is, how do you feel about taking Lane on? Tell me more. You've seen what's happening in Wellspring, what Tala's doing. He shakes his head. Kirk is a fool, but he's onto something. Get on the inside, organize, undermine. That I can get on board with. Sounds risky. I'm sure it is. Seraphin smiles. He's enjoying this. Just think about it, Sleeper. We'll find a way back onto Darkside quietly. We make some connections, we start something running. He turns back to his console. It'd be one hell of a thing. Utsubo are ruthless. The way they run Darkside, there's gotta be plenty of people fed up with them. Seraphin shrugs. And they've gotten worse under Lane. Worse since they pushed the other gangs out. You smile and shake your head at how fast Seraphin can bounce back when he wants to, and as you do, you can't help but consider his plan. Look, maybe it's crazy, but we need a safe harbor either way. I've got a connection in the Scatterguards. They'll tuck us away, keep us quiet from everyone. You see Seraphin has his coin in his hand and is turning it over between his fingers as he speaks. If we want, maybe you can help us get into Darkside. But even if we don't, it's a good place to rest up and make a plan. He turns back to the controls to deal with a rapid beep from the new HasNav unit. The Scatteryards. You've heard of them. They have a reputation as a fiercely independent set of shipyards just starward of Darkside, a hiding place right under Lane's nose. If you've got things to do elsewhere first, go ahead. But the moment we're back in the wash, Lane will be looking for us. Seraphin turns his focus back to piloting the ship. As you watch debris flit past the ship, you turn your focus to what's ahead. Take over a gang? I saw it! Seraphin comes charging into the bunks. I actually saw it! He is wide-eyed, his breath ragged. Saw what? Seraphin takes a moment to catch his breath, suddenly aware of how frantic he sounds. He squints at you. Have you ever noticed how supplies have been going missing? Every so often, when we travel? I have. You suddenly recall the mysterious mess that was left behind in supply storage. Seraphin sees the flicker of recognition in your eyes. So, after it happened a couple of times, I decided to keep an eye on our supply store. Seraphin lowers his voice. You know, check it from time to time. And this cycle, I drifted down there real quiet. He leans in, and whoosh! Something flew past me. He shakes his head, knocked me right into the wall. Something? I don't know. It came at me fast. Some kind of creature. Seraphin says the last word with emphasis. Is there really a creature on the ship? You look around the berth, suddenly aware that something could be hiding nearby. Tucked into the vents, perhaps? We know this thing likes supplies, right? Seraphin is also glancing around for hiding places. So we lock them down tighter, keep them out. That way he'll get desperate. And then, Seraphin raises a finger. It'll make a mistake. What are you talking about? Bliss leans in from the corridor. I can hear you all the way in the workshop. There's a creature in the ship. Bliss looks between the two of you with a raised eyebrow. Creature? Are you sure? It's something small and dark, something fast. Seraphin looks at Bliss. We're going to lock the supplies to drive it out. Bliss looks at Seraphin. If it's an animal, we don't want to make it any more scared or desperate than it already is. How about we lock up the supplies, but leave some out in a special place? Try to bait it. And then grab it! Seraphin mimes the act. No. Bliss looks between the two of you. We show it that we have nothing to fear. We show it that it has nothing to fear. We tame it. It didn't seem very tameable. Seraphin rubs his sore ribs. Plus, we've already wasted enough supplies on this thing. You want to give it more? Seraphin turns to you. What do you think, Sleeper? You look between the two of them, still processing the strange situation you find yourself in, obviously where you're going to tame it. Seraphin sighs. What a waste. All right. Bliss nods. You'll have to come down to the supply store every few cycles to put down some more food. That way it won't get desperate and do anything dangerous. And I'll lock up the supplies tight. Seraphin folds his arms. It won't get into them anymore. The plan's set. Bliss and Seraphin leave the berth, heading in separate directions. You watch them go. It seems your ship has a stowaway. The question is, how will you deal with it? How will I deal with it? I will feed it. Okay. Oop. All right, what can we even do here? Oh, no, nothing worthwhile there. Work here, sort of. Yeah, I think we have a cat aboard our ship. It keeps stealing our, stuff. We need money. Money. So if I put in 2 raw scrap, what do I get? Processed scrap. What does processed scrap do? Can I sell that? No. Can I sell it up here? No. What is processed scrap for? The hell? Oh, right, Cadet. I forgot about her. Where can I buy food? Was that here? Buy supplies, yeah. Let's fill our fuel. Buy a few supplies. And I'm gonna immediately go feed one of those to the cat. So, one there. Stowaway fed. You put supplies into the special feeder. How long are you gonna need to keep doing this? Can I just keep force feeding it? I don't have any more money. I need to rest to get my stress out. Come on, let's go! Yay! One time, no whammies. Beautiful. You love to see it. Process scrap to repair. Well, it doesn't repair me because those are these components that I have. The rare components or the engine components are what are used to repair the me. But okay. Wow, these dice are fucking bad. Maybe I'll throw some of them at Cadet's situation over here. Bait or starve the stowaway. Let's work for some money. Seriously, how much am I gonna need to feed this cat? More than 5? Oh no, it's every oh god, I've just been throwing money away. It's every time I feed it, it lowers that clock. Oh no. I just threw away like 100 cryo by just force putting a bunch of those in there. This is time-based. Damn it. Oops. I still have that job from that guy. No, I don't think I do. Yeah, not the clearest of instructional design, but admittedly, it does kind of make sense. I just hadn't thought about it all that much. Oh dear. Well, I'm starving now. Oh, there goes 2 of my dice slots. Oof. Oh no, these engine components aren't the ones that do that. It's scrap components that do that, which I don't have. Recovery failed. Alright, fine. Cool. Stress is gone. That's great. Love to see it. Don't love to see the other stuff. I need food, so I will work for a meal. Good enough. I am impressing Nemba. I don't know who Nemba is. Nemba is too busy to spend too much time with everyone in the kitchen, but he does notice those who do good work. Okay, end cycle. What is the way? Number balls, got him! I can't believe that the sleeper died from Nemba. Little bit of money. Cut your way in. There we go. You've prepared all you can. Time to get in there and grab that drive. You slide loose the panel away from a wall, letting it float there beside the airbike rack. Behind it, in the dark, you see the blinking lights of the fuse box. A noise nearby draws your attention for a moment. The scrape of a sliding door, maybe? Or just some old system cycling in the walls. It took long enough to gain access to the Stripline Express bike garage, and longer still to find a safe route to the airbike racks. But you are almost there. You have seen and heard the hired muscle searching and guarding this place, but have been lucky enough not to come face to face with them. Yet. You turn back to the darkness behind the panel. If what Cadet said is right, the drive is taped to the back of the fuse box in front of you. Who the fuck is Lane Jobs? Number balls. You reach through and around slowly and carefully, and your hand settles on something cold and metallic in the dark. It is taped firmly to the box. You pull at it, but it doesn't budge. A quiet rattle echoes from the dispatch office. Next door, and you freeze for a second. It seems Cadet was a little too enthusiastic with the tape. Intuit. Neutral's fine. You close your eyes and feel for the seams of the tape. Taking your time, you pick at it, working each piece away from the drive. You hear a clattering sound nearby as you peel off the final piece, and the drive spins into your hand. Time to move. You slip the drive into your coat and kick away from the wall, gliding back towards the maintenance corridor you entered from. As you cross the bike garage, you hear voices in the dispatch office next door. Just as you tuck yourself into the cool darkness of the maintenance corridor, a screech indicates the opening of a door from the office next door. Voices rumble through the room, and you quickly and quietly push yourself deeper into the guts of the building. Too close. Barely daring to breathe, you carefully make your way through the maze of passages that brought you here, their dog legs and dead ends now familiar. Eventually, you spot a thin slit of light ahead, marking the loose panel you levered open to gain entrance. You take a deep breath. Almost there. As you reach the gap, you freeze. Voices rumble from beyond, and peering through, you see two figures in dark clothes searching the chaotic bay behind the strip line. Your eyes are drawn to the dark, boxy weapon one holds at their side. Shit, you hiss silently to yourself, your eyes searching for a path through. You wait, silent and still, as the figures search. They split and drift across the bay. You take the chance, sliding open the panel and slipping behind the scrap and boxes at the edge of the room. You work your way around until you can't get any further. You kick off hard, making a dash for the far side of the bay and the public passage beyond. There's a hiss and the guttural chatter of the pressure valve as an air bike pulls up beside you in the passage. Cadet leans over and grabs the collar of your coat. Hop on! In a moment, you are on the back of the airbike, clutching the strap of Cadet's bag as she guns it down the passage, the air resistance almost ripping you from the thin seat. You lean against her back and let out a sigh as the drive pressing against your ribs beneath your jacket. Did it. Still alive back there? Cadet's voice brings you back from the hypnotic rhythm of the tunnel lights rushing past the airbike. She slows the bike with a rapid series of hisses, and you realize she has brought you back to the passage outside Bliss's Bay. You try to understand the route she took, a long loop through the branching transit tunnels of the station, but give up. Shigeo Mob Psycho doesn't look too far off from it, honestly. You can let go now. She straightens up, and you unhook your fingers from her bag strap, separating yourself from her back. You push off the bike gently and float in the passage beside her. You okay? You look pretty rough back there. She smiles. Appreciate you putting it all on the line for me. Who were those guys? Your guess is as good as mine. She shrugs. Didn't look like anyone nice, though. I wouldn't sweat it. She smiles. Go on, then. Let's see the drive. You fish the drive out of your jacket and hand it over. That's the one. She squints at it. Should have checked it when I had the chance. You get your first good look at it, and there's not much to see. A small lump of solid-state memory with a few markers on the case. You spot a yellow hex among them. Hexport. What now? She winks, slides her bag around her shoulder to the front, and slots the drive neatly into a pocket. I know someone in the scatteryards who can crack anything. She'd be my first port of call to crack this thing open. She stretches her shoulders. And I should make myself scarce from the spindle anyway, before those dickheads catch up with me. Come with us. I appreciate the offer, but I think it's best if we go our separate ways for now. 2 targets are harder to track than 1. She cycles the pressure valve on the bike impatiently. Cadet leans away from her bike, squinting out of the viewing window at your ship beyond. That yours? She doesn't wait for an answer. If I'm not mistaken, that old thing is going to struggle to reach the scatteryards unless you have a Hasnav suite. Hasnav? Yeah, belt between here and the scatteryards is drowning in debris, worse since export. You'll need a hazard navigation to make the crossing safely. Lotic Syndicate created the tech to help their tankers cross the belt. Common knowledge. Cadet nods at your ship. Maybe if you head up to Wellspring, you can barter or steal a suite, she adds casually. Here. Cadet unties a bag latched to her bike frame and holds it out to you. Not enough for a refit, but maybe you'll find some use for them. You take the bag and something clinks inside it as you do. You open it to see a couple of engine components. Was gonna use them to boost her. She taps the frame of the air bike, but you deserve them. She meets your eye and then looks away. Not like I'll be doing any runs for a while anyway. Thanks. It's nothing. Like I said, you deserve them. She flexes her finger on the bike's handles, eager to be away. Cadet's airbike stutters and purrs, trembling in the air like an arrow ready to be loosed. See you around? She winks and guns the throttle, zipping off down the passage with a pulse of air that ripples through your clothes. You stare after her as she goes, the bag of components still hanging from your hand. You realize as you look down the passage that you never asked how Cadet plans to get to the scatter yards. That question, like a score of others, will have to wait until you run into her next. Although you have a feeling she will find a way to slip before you can ask them next time, too. You head back towards your ship to stow the components, idly wondering if you could justify buying an air bike to Seraphin as you do so. Seraphin, I want a motorcycle. Seraphin, let me buy a motorcycle. Negative outcome. Bump, bump. Hey! Okay. Let's buy another supply. Man, my guys are not finding supplies particularly well this time around. Stowaway fed, end the cycle. Okay. Where are the scatter yards? What's that? Oh god, do I have to go to Flotsam and then to the scatter yards because that's radioactive? Fuck off. God damn it. That's bullshit. That's extortion. I can hide these drives. Radioactive. Do I have like a good way of getting money here? Like, at all? Not really. Let's work Flotsam. I think Intuit's what I'm gonna bump when I can. I need one more point, I think, before I'm able to do that. Get some cryo, get some cryo. What's a flat negative? Nothing. Who knows? We'll find out. Minus energy, but I still get the cryo. Are you where I buy supplies? No. Are you where I buy supplies? Yes. I have a cat to feed. We'll do that. How much do I need to get to the scatter yards from here? 8. Okay. That's exactly enough. Let's go. Gonna go to the scatter yards, do the intro there, and I think probably call the stream then. The winking sigils of the yards flash across the dark starscape of the belt, each one a siren light for crews in need of repairs or eager for improvements. The scatter yards live up to their reputation. But Seraphin will not be drawn by the lights. He guides the ship into an empty, ragged-looking yard, darker and more frame than plate. It looks rougher than any of the others. Seraphin? Maybe we want to dock somewhere a little more welcoming? We aren't that hard up. Bliss turns to you. Or are we worse off than I thought, Sleeper? Best shipwrights rarely have the best, brightest signs. Thought you'd know that, Bliss. Seraphin reaches up and flicks a series of switches above his head. Marco's the best in the scatter yards. The best? Or just the best you know? Bliss gives him a skeptical look. You'll see. Seraphin smiles widely, shutting off the main console and unclipping from the pilot's seat. We're safe here. Seraphin turns to you. No need to run from Lane for a while. He'll never find us in Marco's yard. It'll be nice to have a break from running. Junie floats at the back of the cockpit. I hear the scatter yards have some good data analysis terminals on the hub. Junie glances at you. If you could spare me. You follow Seraphin as he glides eagerly to the airlock. You and Bliss exchange glances. Both of you are used to Seraphin's headstrong moments, yet you still can't help but feel that now familiar pull of someone else's problems. Marco! Seraphin opens his arms to the figure coming through the cycling airlock. Finn! Marco floats through the doorway, a crooked smile across his pale face, his sharp eyes glinting in the rig's bright work lights. The two embrace in more of a chest bump than a hug. Seraphin spinning with the momentum of the impact to end with his arm across Marco's shoulders, the two side by side grinning. You notice Marco's eyes quickly falling on you, a slight narrowing suggesting he has immediate thoughts about your presence. So, this is who you're flying with now, Finn? Marco shoots you a wink, his expression shifting to conceal his previous curiosity or concern. Bliss. They introduce themselves curtly. You two used to be on a crew together, I assume. Me and Finn? No, we're just drinking buddies. Marco's response provokes a laugh from Seraphin, some kind of joke you can't quite catch the tone of. Marco turns his attention to you. And the sleeper. He smiles. My condolences. It's a damn crime what those corporations do to you, but at least you're out, huh? Just nod. Marco doesn't miss a beat. Marco turns back to Seraphin. It's been too long, Finn. Not flying with old Betty anymore? You immediately see the reaction in Seraphin, his entire being tightening without anything more than a shudder to signify it. No, that's long done. Marco shrugs. That's the way of the belt. He shakes Seraphin by the shoulder. Come on then, enough floating around in this drafty old thing. Let's get a drink. Marco turns his attention to you. Feel free to make yourself at home in the yard. Hell, take a little fuel. I got loads of this stuff and it's been quiet for more than a few cycles. Happy to spare some for a friend. He steers Seraphin down the docking tunnel, waving a hand to you and calling out, I'll have him home in a cycle or two. His laughter echoes down the tunnel as they leave. Bliss turns to you. I'm going to go dig around the other yards for some components the rig could do with. They smile. You got things to do? You think of Cadet and wonder if she found her way here to the scatter yards to extract the data on the Hexport drive. The only way to know would be to find her. Seraphin's words echo in your mind, his insistence that the only way to escape Lane is to beat him on his home turf. With Darkseid just sunward of the scatter yards, this might be the perfect platform from which to attempt such a wild and dangerous plan. Sleeper? Bliss brings you out of your thoughts. I hate it when you do that. Just take care out there, okay? They drift off down the docking tunnel, leaving you in the airlock. It seems the next step is up to you. Sleeper! You hear Bliss's voice hiss as you pass through the rig's central corridor. You have to come see this. You follow their voice and find them floating outside the supply store looking in. Bliss holds a finger to their lips and nods inside. Quietly. She's eating. You look inside and see a cat floating just inside, batting at a food pouch. The stray barely acknowledges your and Bliss's presence. Instead, angles its body to catch the droplets of liquid that are released from the transparent packet. Looks like we found our stowaway. Bliss smiles at you. Hey there, girl. Bliss whispers at the stray, beckoning. They hold their hands so that the cat can see them. Not here to take those rations away, all right? You both watch as the stray suddenly kicks away, twisting balletically through the air. Balletically through the air, and gliding past you both out of the supply store. It catches one of the corridor's ribs, swinging itself to the wall where it perches and watches Bliss with big eyes. It's my boy! The executive producer. The comfort of its movement in zero-G is striking, and you realize you have never seen an animal navigate in microgravity before. You hear a sound and turn to find Seraphim arriving from the direction of the engine room. He stops dead in his tracks against the wall, staring at the stray. What the hell is that? Seraphim hisses the question to you both. It's a cat. What's a cat? Seraphim says the word strangely. Careful there. Bliss holds up a hand to Seraphim. Don't scare her. So that's a cat? Seraphim is watching the stray carefully, either fascinated or scared. It's hard to tell. I thought it would be bigger. You've never seen a cat before? Where would I have seen a cat? Seraphim looks at you. Come to think of it, where have you seen a cat? The question makes you pause. Where have you seen a cat? Not in the belt, not in zero-G. You close your eyes and bring to mind the faint image of a cat stretching in the sun. Somewhere warm, somewhere with weight, with gravity. You touch the fur of its back and it reacts, sliding against your hand. Careful. Seraphim's hissed warning brings you back. Bliss is reaching out to the stray. Shh, you'll scare her. Bliss makes a tutting sound. We had cats back on the eye, but they were in spin gravity there. The stray's big eyes watch Bliss's hand as it approaches. When they touch the top of her head, the stray does not move, does not react. Look at her leg. Bliss nods at the sleeve on the cat. She's been hurt before and taken care of. She's really scared. You see the cat is gently trembling with Bliss's touch, but slowly she settles and angles her head for Bliss to scratch her ear. The movement brings back the mysterious memory. What is its origin? Focusing on it makes your skin tremble, a shiver running up your arms. It's been breaking into our supplies. Seraphim has his arm folded and is looking at Bliss. Now that we've caught it, we should let it out. Look at her, she's not gonna do that again. Bliss's eyes meet the stray's. You aren't gonna do that as long as we feed you, right? That may be true, but we can't risk it happening again. What if we'd been on a contract? Seraphim gives Bliss a reproachful look. We can't keep it. Bliss shakes her head. She's a stray, she needs her home. Right, Sleeper? Bliss looks at you. We're keeping her. Bliss smiles widely, unable to contain their excitement. You won't regret it. They look at Seraphim. Plus, the rig is already full of strays as it is. I guess it is. Seraphim concedes. You have to feed her, though, Sleeper. She's your responsibility. He eyes the stray. I never thought a cat would eat so much. Seraphim's right. Looks like you'll need to keep feeding the stray every few cycles if you want her to stick around. This is gonna be expensive. Trust me, cats are worth it. Seraphim reaches out sheepishly towards the stray. As she does, the cat bats playfully at his hand and he pulls it away. If you say so. He sighs. I'm not really used to animals. You watch as Bliss tries to get Seraphim to pet the stray properly, guiding his hand to his ears for a scratch and explaining how to approach her. As you do, the memory of that other cat runs through your mind. It feels like a raw wound, one that, if you touch it, will only bring pain. But you can't help but pick at it, knowing that it might contain some distant part of you. Yo! Interspecies solidarity! All right.
I gotta adjust that one a little bit.
There we go. As always, thank you all for coming. I appreciate everybody. I know this is an off day, but I didn't stream on Wednesday because I had some shit come up. So I wanted to do a makeup one today. Yeah. Let me see if anyone I know. Do sleepers remember their pasts? Sort of. It seems to be the case. They get it in like snippets. I think they mentioned at one point that like normally it's kind of based on dreams in some way. Like they have weird dreams of you know, their previous memories and all of that. So yeah, doesn't look like there's anyone I'm particularly in interest of rating, so I think I'm just gonna call this one here, y'all. Thank you so much for coming. As always, I appreciate everyone's support in doing this. So I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Friday and a lovely weekend as well. Thank you for coming again, and goodbye. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.